Thank you, Don. At this time, I'd like to... At this time, I'd like to call the regular meeting to order. The time now is 7:02. Requirements of the Sunshine Law have been met. This meeting was advertised in the Burlington County Times on January 5th of 2018. Please join me in a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can you please join me in a brief moment of silence? Thank you. Roll call.
Committeeman Henley.
Present.
Committeewoman Hines.
Present.
Committeeman Lopez.
Present.
Committeewoman Smith-Hartman.
Present.
Mayor Wisniewski.
Present. Approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve with a request to remove one item, Resolution 11218.
Second.
Any discussion? What I'd like to add is that this item, Resolution 112-18, will be tabled for a future date. Roll call?
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith-Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Approval of the regular meeting minutes, July 17, 2018, the closed executive session minutes on 7/17, and the workshop session minutes 7/17-18.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith-Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Scheduled appointments. At 7 p.m., we are going to have Paul Forlenza from Brolco JIF, the Deputy Executive Director, give us a safety update, a JIF update, I'm sorry. Floor is yours. Do we have, is there a microphone up there? You might have to press the switch.
It should be right in the middle, but
Press it until
You have to press the button until it turns green.
No.
You have to talk right.
Press it until it turns
Right.
green. There you go.
There we go. Okay. Good evening, Mayor, members of council. My name is Paul Forlenza. I'm the Deputy Executive Director of the Burlington County JIF, and I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you in regards to your renewal this evening. I just see that you took off our resolution for new membership in the fund. So that throws me back a little bit, because usually when I see it there, my goal is to not say anything during the course of my presentation that'll stop you from your intended action. So I guess I did that before I even had the opportunity to speak, which is fine. I think the value of the Burlco JIF stands on its own, and believe it or not, I was here 15 years ago, almost to the day, to speak with you or the governing body at the time about membership in the Burlco JIF. And I think it's been a very good relationship. It's one that I want to see continue. And with that, with your indulgence, Maria did ask me to hold it just to a couple of minutes. I'll do that. I do want to highlight a few items in regards to the Burlco JIF, and then we'll go from there. Fair enough? And I'm happy to answer any questions. So you do have a copy of my presentation before you. And again, in consideration of time, there are just a few pages I do want to highlight for you, and then again, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you take a look at page 3, you'll see that the JIF movement across the state of New Jersey continues to be by far the greatest example of interlocal cooperation in the state's history. Conservatively, the JIF movement across the state over the last 30 years has saved the taxpayers in excess of $1.3 billion. So again, it's been a very successful program, the JIF. When you look at the Burlco JIF program specifically, as highlighted on page 4, you'll see that we are in our 27th year of operation. We currently have in excess of $11.6 million of cash on hand, of surplus on hand. We have returned, we have about $16.9 million of cash on hand to pay their claims. And sometimes when I do these presentations, governing body members will ask me, well, why do you have so much surplus? Quite honestly, we have all that surplus because we want to make sure we have the financial viability to continue to pay your claims over the long term. That's key for us. We never want to be in a position to have to come back to you and say, gee, we didn't budget enough money this year to pay your claims. As a result, we need some additional dollars from you. The fund is extremely financially sound, and we're going to be here for the long haul. If you take a look on the next page, you'll see a highlight of our dividends. Money that is not used to pay claims is returned back to our memberships, or back to our members in a very strategic manner. We do that with the idea of being very conservative. It's a decision of the Finance Committee, which is made up of representatives of the members. Since our inception, we've returned over $8 million back to our members, and that's money that would have been profits for a commercial insurance company. That includes $700,000 last year, and the Finance Committee met last week, and they are making a recommendation that we release another $700,000 this year. And you can see below that West Hampton has received in excess of $133,000 during your membership with the fund. So we want to continue that stream. The fund's strong financial position has also been recognized by the fund's actuary. The actuary is required to certify our budget on an annual basis to the state of New Jersey. And you can see that over the last several years, they have looked at the financial strength, they've looked at the claims history and the practices in regards to risk management and safety by our members, and have successfully continued to say, let's reduce the loss funding portion of the GIF's budget. The loss funding portion of the budget is really the major piece of the GIF's overall budget. That goes to pay for claims within our self-insured retention. Currently, the GIF is paying the first $300,000 of any workers' compensation or liability claim, and the first $100,000 of any property loss. Beyond that, it goes into the upper layers of coverage. And so that's, I promise, as deep as I'll go into the finances of the GIF. The way we allocate that loss funding portion of the budget each year is based upon a member's performance within that budget. And you can see it's highlighted on page 7 how you have performed over the last 6 years or so. You've had some very good years, and you've had some not so very good years. But what we do is we look at an overall ratio over a 6-year period, because I don't think it's really fair to judge West Hampton's performance on 2012 by itself or 2013 by itself. So you look at a blended rate over time, and you can see what your blended rate is at 120.2%, and that's in comparison to the GIF's overall ratio at 65%. So basically what this means is that for every dollar you're contributing, the GIF's paying out about 20 cents more, $1.20. So over this time period, we've collected about $800,000 from you, and we've paid out over $1 million in claims. So that's not something you should stress about. If that's reality of insurance. That's reality of the fact that you're going to have good years and you're going to have bad years. But the important thing is that we don't judge you based on any particular year. And if you look on page 8, this is the loss funding piece that I described earlier by itself as a standalone. And you can see that we've recognized that you have good years and you have bad years, and we have worked hard to keep your loss funding allocation pretty steady over that time period. When you look at the next page, that's your overall assessment over this time period. You can see that that has climbed, because if you look at some of the more catastrophic losses that you've had over the last 6 years, you can see that they've hit the higher echelons of our coverage, and as a result, you're seeing an upward trend in your assessment. But again, we evaluate you going forward, and hopefully that trend will go the other way. Okay? The GIF continues to be very cost effective. We're running this operation on about 11 cents of every dollar that you contribute to the fund. That is in comparison to a commercial insurer that's anywhere from 30 to 35 to 37 cents on the dollar. So we do work hard to really control the costs associated with the operation. What's also nice about the GIF, as you can see on page 12, you'll see the members of the fund. We're at 27 members. What's nice about the program is that we are able to provide great services to towns that with limited exposure, such as the little borough of Fieldsboro or Bass River, and to towns as large as Pemberton Township and Mount Laurel. And again, they run the spectrum of operations, and what's nice about the GIF is that we're able to customize the program to the needs of those towns. We want you to continue to support your risk management team here at home. You'll see those individuals listed on page 14. Maria is active. She comes to our GIF meetings on a monthly basis. She distributes information on your behalf. You also have a strong safety coordinator and claims coordinator as well. And you also have a strong risk management consultant in Hardenberg Agency. They are a good operation, and they really do take care of their clients. Some of the things that we're working on currently that are hot items for us are highlighted on page 15. You should be in the process of updating your employment practices and public officials liability personnel procedures manual. That should be in your process. The JIF put forward the training that you're required to give at least once every 2 years to your managers and supervisors. We've also made the required training for all other employees available to you as well. The due date for that is October 1st, so hopefully that's something that's on your radar. Also, cyber. Towns are today relying more and more on technology and the use of technology. As a result, we are trying to manage the risk associated with that use of technology. We announced a cyber risk management program back in December. If you meet certain technological standards, you will see a reimbursement of your $10,000 deductible, depending on your level of sophistication. If you meet the Tier 1 requirement, you'll get a $5,000 reimbursement. And if you meet the Tier 2 requirement, you'll get a $7,500 reimbursement. So that's something we want to make sure that you're continuing to work on. And finally, wellness. I'm happy to report that you folks have embraced wellness. The Borough JIF is one of only 3 JIFs in the state of New Jersey that has a full-blown wellness program. You may say to yourself, well, why wellness? It's a property and casualty JIF. Why are you concentrating on wellness? Well, workers' compensation is the lion's share of our overall JIF budget. And national studies for the last 30 years have indicated that employees who are healthy are less likely to be injured, and when they are injured, they recover much more quickly. As a result, we want to continue to push wellness, and I'm happy to report that Marie and the staff have really embraced wellness, and that's something we want to continue to see you do. You will also have a spin-off benefit from that because obviously one of the larger line items in your budget is your health benefits line. And I think anything you can do to get your employees in healthy and keep your use of the health benefits low is going to help you in the long run. And just finally, some programs that we're working on that I think that you should keep on your radar are highlighted on page 21. We're working on a land use training program. Right now, we are continuing to see more and more claims being generated at our land use boards. As a result, we want to continue to train your land use board members on what their role is. They are a quasi-judicial board, and want to make sure that they understand that they need to follow their local land use ordinance. They need to make sure that they make their decisions properly, and we want to continue to promote that. And you'll see that get rolled out later this fall. And then finally, technology risk management services. The JIF led a contract in July, which will increase your risk management program that'll be available to you in regards to the use of cyber and the use of technology. So that's something that you'll see more information on as well. Finally, in the back of your booklet, you will see a copy of your annual report card. This is something that we send to you each year, but in the years of your renewal, we like to come out and have a discussion with you about it, just kind of highlight it. On the inside left-hand side, you'll see our financials as of June 30th of 2018 for all our fund years since inception in 1991. You'll also see an allocation of our JIF budget, as well as our financial results from our last audit. On the right-hand side, you'll see some of the various programs that are available to you through your JIF membership, including the optional safety budget, the safety incentive program, and the wellness incentive program. So hopefully you're taking advantage of those funding mechanisms to fund your local efforts. And on the below that, you'll see how you're doing in regards to some of the JIF metrics. These include things such as lost time accident frequency, loss ratio, and the like. And again, these are metrics that we use to compare West Hampton's performance to that of the JIF's overall results. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. That's it. I won't go any further.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Paul. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for Paul? No?
A final thought as you consider your renewal with the fund. JIF bylaws indicate that we must receive all of your renewal paper within 90 days of the end of the year, which would be October 1st. If we do not receive it from you by then, you're automatically out of the JIF effective January 1st, and you cannot make reapplication to the fund for a period of 3 years. So I just felt that would be appropriate to give that heads up.
Well, it is on our agenda tonight, so we'll...
Okay. Well, I thought I already got pulled.
What's that? No. What we had pulled was the,
2010.
I think I cited the wrong resolution.
I cited the correct resolution.
You did?
The,
I think I cited the incorrect resolution.
You're good.
Yeah, you're,
Okay.
you're good.
Well, I didn't say anything to
We-
screw it up.
We are tabling, amending, urging, legislature to amend certain bills.
Okay.
So that is what it.
My apologies.
It's okay.
I
So it
cited
is-
the wrong.
And
That's
they,
why I was thinking through my papers, I'm thinking, okay.
No, I understand.
We like the
We hear
GIF.
you loud and clear.
and that would have been nice if we told you that before you did your whole spiel.
Yeah.
We like the GIF.
Sorry.
Yeah, I do not happen to have any questions. Maria, nothing?
Okay.
No,
Well, then I look forward to seeing you guys.
Yes, yes.
thank you, thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
You can leave it on. At this time, I will open the meeting to the public for comment on agenda items only.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, committee members.
Good evening.
As to Resolution 117-18, question regarding the DOT road grant project for 2018, would Saddle Ridge be included in that?
Sorry?
Saddle Ridge Estates. Is that a part of?
No, I believe not. I believe it is not.
I didn't understand the question, I'm sorry.
Is Saddle Ridge included in
Saddle
terms of
Yeah.
repair of the roadway
Saddle Ridge.
under that grant?
The cost of the engineering work to do the design work so that we can do the the Tarnsfield Road, which portion of
So
which...
Saddle Ridge roads are not included in that?
The roads
Not in
are
this
included
page.
in the capital budget.
Is Saddle Ridge replacement of roadways included at all in 2018 or 2019?
No, it is not.
Okay, is there a reason why it is not?
Our road program is I believe it's a 15-year plan with a bunch of different streets. I believe Saddle Ridge is on there. We are taking, little bites of the pie and trying to get everything done. Currently, this is what we have to work with and what we're trying to get done, at least for 2018,
It's Townsville.
is Tarnsfield Road.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lopez?
Mayor, Deputy Mayor, interview, my name is Louis Lopez, I'm a part-time citizen resident. And I want to thank everyone for a great day at West Western. That was amazing. I went there, making two choices.
I don't-
I just want to say thanks.
Okay. Well, what I would say is right now, we're just discussing agenda items only.
Well, first agenda item ordinance 13.
What about it?
Agenda item 13 ordinance 8/6/2018. The first one.
Which one? I'm sorry.
First one, 6-2018.
6/2018.
This is just the first reading of this ordinance, and we're just trying to bring it up to compliance with standards of DEP. And at our second reading, we will have that opened up to the public for comment. But
This will correspond with the HVAC increase. There was nothing about it on Friday,
for what is that?
correspond with
He's asking for correspondence,
HVAC increase in rating.
letter B, under PSE&G,
Oh,
increase in
increase
rating. Rates, I'm sorry.
I believe we do have that, and I'm sure they've sent it out to all the residents.
Okay. Do you verify, to me, Clavington, you can feel the first part.
Which one was that, Luis?
Clavington, that you don't already have that it's on after 20, that's a new program.
Mm-hmm, oh.
There's the program, that's the
That
one.
paragraph about, after 20.
Oh, no, that is just for the audience to understand that there will be those are basically the etiquette that we'd like to follow as far as following public comment and open comment.
Is everything about 30 minutes, right? Or less?
On certain issues tonight, I don't think we'll cross that, so
Oh, okay, that's all right. Okay, it's nice to see new people around here. So
Okay.
I do have, other public questions, real world questions, I hope you can answer.
Well, if it's not on the agenda, you would have to bring it up later.
I hope you can answer the whole question.
Well, okay, thank you. Anyone else for comment on agenda items? Closed to the public for comment on agenda items. Monthly reports that are posted on the bulletin board outside, the West Hampton Township Emergency Services Report, Police Report, Public Works Report, Construction Report, and the Tax Collectors Report. Old business, there is none. New business, the West Hampton Memorial American Legion Post, their annual report, the New Jersey Department of Transportation, the fiscal year 2019 state aid grant programs. The International Overdose Awareness Day Vigil is August 31st of 2018. It is at 7 to 9 p.m. over here at the Brownton County Amphitheater. Timbuktu Day is on Saturday, September 22nd. That starts at noon. And the Aspire Youth Development meetings are requesting a request for municipal buildings fee waiver. If we decide to act on it, a vote would be required, or is a vote required if we...
I'd like you to consider a
Okay.
motion to, or not to waive the fees for,
Do we have a motion to waive or not waive?
it's the Think Pink Depression Support Group. It's held in West Hampton. The facilitators are West Hampton residents, and West Hampton residents do attend. They're requesting the use of, probably room 107 for 6 consecutive weeks, starting on September 24th and running into October 29th. Curtis Myers runs it. I work with him with the Arcasa Municipal Alliance for the sending districts going into RV. So he asked that you guys consider that.
Do we have a motion to waive the fees?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Does anyone have any discussion?
Just a question. It's community use, right? It's strictly nonprofit. It's not for profit at all.
No.
Okay.
That being all, roll call?
Henley,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Smith Hartman,
Sure, yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Ordinances. Ordinance 6-2018. Amend the code of Township of West Hampton, Animals, Chapter 88. This is the first reading. This ordinance amends the code in order to bring it in compliance with standards required by the New Jersey DEP.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Sandy Henley. Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Smith Hartman,
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Ordinance 7-2018, salary ordinance, police supervisors, first reading. This ordinance sets the salaries and compensation for sergeants, lieutenants, captain, and chief of police for the year 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Smith Hartman,
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Ordinance 8-2018, salary ordinance for firefighters/EMTs. This is the first reading. This ordinance sets the salaries and compensation for full-time firefighters and EMTs for the year 2018.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 9-2018, salary ordinance. Other municipal employees. This is the first reading. This ordinance sets the salaries and compensation for public works, administrative, and municipal court employees for the year 2018.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 109-18, payment of vouchers. This resolution approves the payment of bills through August 17, 2018.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 110-18, renew Borough Code GIF membership. This resolution authorizes the execution of a contract renewing West Hampton Township's membership effective January 1st, 2019, and ending on January 1st of 2022.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 111-18, authorize the sale of surplus property. This resolution authorizes the sale of surplus property no longer needed in order to offset the price of purchasing a remote mower needed by the Public Works Department.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 113-18, authorize appointment of an investigator. This resolution authorizes the appointment of an investigator to conduct an investigation regarding the complaint of harassment made by a township employee. Do we need to state the firm? No.
I think it's already in. Is the name of the firm in there?
Yeah, I don't know that I didn't give it out. I have it in my original. The party law firm?
Mayor, as long as it's in the resolution. So.
It's not in the resolution.
Okay, well,
Well, it is. It's in the original here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't redo everybody.
Okay, that's fine.
I have the original, and let's see. The Gardy Law Firm?
Okay, as long as you have it.
I do.
Do I have a motion?
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
she's great.
Roll call?
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Let's see. Resolution 114-18, adopt the wellness policy. This resolution adopts the Borough Code GIF's wellness policy, which is committed to promoting and implementing policies to promote the health and safety of the township's municipal employees.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 115-18, purchase vehicle. This resolution authorizes the purchase of a 2018 Ford Interceptor utility vehicle for the police department. Funds are available through Bond Ordinance 3-2018.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 116-18, authorized trade-in of surplus property. This resolution authorizes the trade-in of a surplus property no longer needed in order to receive services and products to mark and identify township-owned vehicles.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 117-18, approve engineering work. This resolution approves engineering design work for two projects: installation of safety netting at the sports complex and the DOT road grant project for 2018.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 118-18, authorize purchase of a computer system. This resolution authorizes the purchase of a computer hardware/software to serve various departments at a cost not to exceed $19,400.
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a quick question. Are we at the budgeted number or under the budgeted number?
Sorry?
Are we at the budgeted number for the year or under the
This
budgeted
is a
number?
capital budget item. We allotted 20,000. This is to get the public works on online work orders and also to get other on one platform.
Okay.
Construction and everything. Yep.
Thank you.
Any discussion? You did have a motion in a second, correct?
Yes.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Forgive me, but I have a question to our solicitor. We had not amended the agenda for another resolution. Is it possible that we can add it to the agenda now?
Mr. Mayor, most certainly you can.
Okay. Are there any other resolutions that would be like to add it to the meeting agenda for tonight?
I would like to make a motion to include resolution number 119-18.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? No, that's correct.
This one? The private sale?
Is there, yes. Is there any discussion? What I would like to say to the residents, we had left this off by accident. This is a resolution permitting the private sale of the Apple iPads. We find what the value of the iPads are on the open market and sell it to a committee member that has been using it, and unfortunately, we left it off of the agenda. With no other discussion, roll call.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Lopez.
Abstain?
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes. Correspondence, letter of thanks to the Public Works Department. We have got a PSC&G rate increase in intent to increase their rate. The public hearing is scheduled. I don't have the date for when it's scheduled.
There's several in there.
Okay. Senior Citizens United Community Service, a public hearing for application for funds to New Jersey Transit for seniors and disabled persons. And the New Jersey League of Municipalities Annual Conference is in Atlantic City, November 13th through the 15th. Committee liaison reports. Does anyone have any reports from their respective departments?
I have nothing.
Well, obviously, we have Timbuktu Day coming on September the 22nd, which is something that I can tell you they've worked very hard at. So anyone that can come out and support it would be much appreciated.
Just with regard to the schools, last week there was a meet and greet and a Q&A with the new West Hampton Intermediate School. So if you don't know, we have a new school over there for fourth and fifth grades. We were able to tour the grounds, and it was packed house, and all the children were entitled to attend, and they asked some really great questions.
Yeah, I do not have a report at this moment. Dates to remember: August 30th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., a walk through history in Rancocas. Meet at 2015 Main Street. September 1st, from 1 to 3 p.m., the West Hampton Township Emergency Services are having a splish splash water bash at the West Hampton Firehouse. Saturday, September 22nd, is Timbuktu Day at noon. October 4th, from 6 to 8 p.m., West Hampton Township Emergency Services Fire Safety Rocks Concert is at the Burlington County Amphitheater. And October 13th, the PTO Fun Run with a rain date of October 14th. At this time...
Mayor, can I just ask you a question? We had an 8 p.m. scheduled appointment for Tim Tyler.
Okay.
To present the flag. I see that he's out in the audience. I don't know if you wanted to do that at this
No,
time.
that's fine. I was just going to ask to do it before or after the open meeting, but if Mr. Tyler, you're here, I think that what we can do is go back for the presentation of the Kia flag. Do you want to, let me see.
Good evening. Thank you for adjusting your agenda. I apologize for my lateness. It's actually coming from Medford, from each and two Medford, and you guys, and I'm not from my way to Southampton, so we're trying to get I have a lot of flags to deliver. So what brings the clerk here other than destruction is legacy. So in 1993, Vietnam veterans went to the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C., in which there was a flag for you to fly there. Fast forward, August 7, 2017, then Governor Chris Christie signed into legislation recognizing KIA as a proper flag to be flown in the state of New Jersey, at the principal location of the state, the county, and each municipality. Unfortunately, the post office has a lot to do with veterans. We report DD-214s for those who don't know. We also issue Gold Star parent IDs. So things that affect veterans, we kind of have some knowledge on that. The law had gone pretty much unnoticed. So as of this year, August 7th, 2018, we started an initiative. The county hoisted their KIA flag at the administration building. As a result of that, and as part of that, I guess I should say, the clerk's office, myself, I'm delivering flags to each municipality, presenting them to the municipalities on behalf of the county clerk's office and myself. Mr. Mayor, governing body, I'm here to present you with the KIA flag. Well, my pleasure. My privilege. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And this, I believe, flies under the town meeting.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to make sure that we get this put up right away.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again for adjusting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to open the floor to the public for comment on any items.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Gary Jakes, 200 Main Street, Rancocas Village, West Hampton. Three things, actually. First, I'm really glad to hear that Timbuktu Day is still being celebrated. I was heavily involved in that project, along with someone else who was here tonight. It was a great thing that we did down there at the Timbuktu site when I was president of the West Hampton Historic Society. It's a great day for the city. Secondly, so 4 years ago, I was asked to come down here to a meeting because I was told that the situation in the West Hampton municipality was completely and utterly out of control. And so I came down to take a look, see what was going on. I was sitting there, a young man stood up and began asking some pertinent questions about the various follies that were taking place at that time. And he was more or less told to sit down and shut up. And I thought to myself, geez, this is going to get really good. This kid's going to come back hard on this. But it got really great because he did. He held his composure. He continued to ask pertinent questions about truthful things. That person was Abe Lopez. My understanding that Abe Lopez is resigning. This is going to be a terrible loss for this community. A terrible loss. Not sure I can find the words to express how much you've meant to this town, Abe. Maureen as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those that remain, I just want to come here tonight to remind you that Abe may be leaving, but a lot of the residents aren't. And we will never allow this committee to become what it was before. And we hope that you have learned from Abe, as I have, about doing things in a honorable fashion. So Abe, I don't know why you're leaving. I don't know why you're going to Florida. My best guess would be God. Probably got a call from the Comcast line. Anybody that's dealt with the service division of Comcast know that's where God resides. Hopefully he didn't ask you to give up Isaac this time around. Okay, good. Good. But I want to make sure to come here tonight to thank you. To show the appreciation on behalf of everybody here at West Hampton. You did a great job, a really great job, and we wish you and your family all the success in the world. So on the note about not letting things go back to the way they were, I just want to, in a respectful way, mention that we had a bit of a problem with the petitions being submitted for people who were running for office here in West Hampton. A young man decided he wanted to run for office. And he brought a petition to the municipal clerk, and he was told, well, you may not have enough signatures on that petition. And perhaps you should go out and get some more. He went out and got some more. Came back at 4:02, and, hey, you know, he's past the time. They're not going to accept the petition. But as it turned out, he had enough signatures when he first showed up, and when that document was notarized. Okay? Now, because of this, he's having to appeal to the Superior Court, to Judge Bookbinder we've been in contact with. So my suggestion is that the municipal clerk for West Hampton be aware of how many signatures are needed, which is based on a 5% rule, and there's some other minutia that goes along with that, so that when people bring petitions in, they can either be accepted knowing they're good and intact, or be told that, you know, they don't have what they need.
Sorry to interrupt, but we are asking residents to limit their comments to 3 minutes. I'm sorry, but you went over, so.
I'm well over, so thank you. Just wanted to make those 3 points. Abe, once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Wish you all the best in the world, man.
Thank you.
Take good care.
Thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Mr. Lopez?
President. First question is, I'd like to add an old question trying to ask candidate for first township meeting. I hope you can remember Mr. Henry about this West Hampton policy. What's the status? Was it like this month or?
I'm sorry, Mr. Lopez, at the time, this is just public comment. If you have any questions for the committee, feel free to ask, and if the committee wants, if the committee members decide to answer during their public comment, they can. If not, feel free to talk to us after the meeting.
Mr. Mayor, if I just may interject, though, I would ask any committee member to refrain from discussing any pending litigation. Thank you.
No, what I'm saying is, that's the going on, but there's not. So I'm the only new council member. Obviously, those people have the person that year. I was wondering if that's been going on, or is it just doing a standby?
Yeah, we don't have an answer for you right now.
So nothing about common suspicion, nothing about that. I think it's August, and I also speak of from last year, so this doing as much as that. Second is, we had, others that junior was on, this will be last meeting, implement. I want to say, we'll discuss the Servicios, the Spanish, and thank you for your service for West Hampton. It's been a very great time.
Thank you.
And once again, thank everyone at the West Hampton Day, I mean, perfect. And for sharing the 16th time over, each one in West Hampton, bus time, I don't know who they are, but I think they're the first one who went there. I'm going to walk, it took me a half hour to get to my house right here, and it was a great day. And just really, I just really want to tell if you could clarify, Resolution 14, for us to close down.
Yeah, at this time, we are just taking comments. If you want, feel free to speak to our administrator with any questions or pull us aside after the meeting and we can discuss it. At this time, we're just asking for public comment.
Okay, just want to thank everybody, make sure for meetings, we're very attention. All about the kind of people here, so that everyone knows what's going on, and how we're doing the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Louis.
Thank you.
Karen Tang, 20 Roberts Drive in West Hampton. As many of you know, I was elected to the governing body in this township in 2010 and experienced a really wonderful working relationship with the members of the governing body, the township employees, and the public for several years. This was somewhat of a quiet, sleepy little town until 2013, 2014, when Virtua entered into an agreement to purchase the Hoagland property for the purpose of building a state-of-the-art, multi-million-dollar hospital campus in West Hampton. Then out of the woodwork in 2014, 2015, came an individual who was sent to this community, I believe, to sow the seeds of division and discontent in a town which was known for its great diversity. This candidate ushered in an era of campaigning never before seen in this sleepy little town. Neighbors were convinced that the governing body was not transparent and that somehow that individual was going to save West Hampton from its then government. The intent of the candidate was to take control over the town in order to somehow control the awarding of contracts on this multi-million-dollar hospital project. The seeds of divisions were sown, and neighbors began to argue with neighbors and began to accuse neighbors of untold action, very similar to what we see transpiring at the national level today. Well, I'm elated to say that West Hampton is once again returning to the quiet, sleepy, little diverse town it once was. And I thank the new governing body for that. I must say, in all honesty, I'm glad to see the forces of division walk away from this town. However, it's still unfortunate to be proven correct that the forces of provision had no real commitment to the town or the residents. On another issue, back to the cracks in the pavement at Saddle Ridge Estate. Maria, I've called in, and Mayor, I've called in several times with regard to the unsightly weeds growing up in the cracks of the pavement at Saddle Ridge Estate. I've called in the issue twice, and I have yet to see any action taken on the roadway issue. While I fully understand that there may not be sufficient funds on roadway projects for Saddle Ridge, I would ask, as I've asked Maria, that the weeds be sprayed. When you drive into Saddle Ridge now, especially when you get to the areas where very few traffic actually drive in the circles, it looks like a lawn instead of a roadway. It is extremely unsightly, and with the amount of rain that we've gotten in the last several weeks, it really looks horrible. And I've got to say that Saddle Ridge pays quite a bit of taxes in this town, and I would hope that when there is a call in with regard to issues such as this, it would be handled. I don't believe I've seen the public works out there. If they have, then I apologize. If they haven't, then I would ask that they come out and take a look.
If I could you, Mayor, I would
Please.
address that issue. The Public Works Director, Parker Smith, is making sure that we're abiding by the use of pesticides as dictated by the New Jersey DEP. And today, signs went up. The law is that we have to post signs 48 hours before we spray. I was told the signs went up today. There was a slight delay in getting the signs, but they are out, and we will be working on other areas of the town, as we shift the signs, because we've got someone trained in that. So I do apologize for the delay. I'm a rule follower, and I want to make sure we did it the right way.
I appreciate that, Maria, and I'm certain that with the spraying, the unsightly weeds will not be.
If it would stop raining, it would help too.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Oh, Ms. Weston, go ahead. Sorry, Gary.
Gary Giles Weston, 104 Church, West Hampton. And I just came to let everyone know that I really appreciate the support that has been given for Timbuktu. I think 80% of my gray hair came from talking to a lot of great people to help us to make this a better community, especially when I think of Timbuktu. And it's very close to my heart because I think my grandmother was the last generation to be born there, and then to come back to that area to live and build a home. I feel very passionate about that. So I'm always walking to see what's going on, and I really appreciate when I come. I don't come just to complain. I will come and say thank you for your support, and I do that on a frequent basis. And I do thank each of you for your support, but I'm very disheartened by the fact that I think I've seen 3 houses now, and when we built the house in 1992, there are 3 houses. Trees were already growing through the roof. And then the sad part about it, they get torn down, and I know there's no other place in West Hampton that we would allow, and I'll say we because I'm part of the community, we would not allow that to happen. But Timbuktu, there's only maybe 3 of us left on Church Street, and it's 1 house now I'm very concerned about. The roof is in bad condition, and I even heard verbally as a township official walked through with some other township officials say, oh, we're going to tear it down and you can use this other building to do your museum. And I'm amazed. Why do we allow any building, no matter what the street is, not just church, why would we allow a building, and I was even given, the person isn't in the official capacity here now, but I was given the telephone number and the name of someone that owned one of those buildings that were torn down for me to call. Why should a resident call someone if you know? Those are the kinds of things that perhaps didn't give me the gray hair because that's kind of a hereditary thing, but I thought that good thing, you can look and see the gray hair. It does disturb me tremendously when I see this kind of thing happen on Church Street, and we're about to be maybe 3 left. I am sad, but I'm happy that I do have listening ears, and I believe people that will affect change in this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Weston.
Good evening. Gary Barbarian, 138 Winstead. 2 comments, and I'll make sure I'm under my 3 minutes. First comment I have is on one of the resolutions. It is regarding the purchase of the police vehicle. What is an interceptor utility vehicle? The only reason I'm asking is because I recall, I want to say earlier in the year, that Ford had deployed some vehicles to police departments, and they were actually deadly to the officers driving them because of some mechanical failure. Is this the vehicle that was part of that recall?
No, the 4 interceptors that we have now on the lot, this is the same exact vehicle. The only recall I ever knew about was the rear seat and the tire.
It's also the vehicle was corrected. That's why we had to wait so long to get the vehicle.
Okay. All right. So we're getting a good vehicle here. Okay, great. Thanks. And then my second comment, and Mayor Chang actually brought up kind of an interesting point around the maintenance and the sort of the aesthetic appearance of our roadways. On the 10th of August, I live in Rolling Hills East, and it was great to see the street sweeper out. The issue that I had was that it was deployed on Friday. Friday is our recycle pickup day. So that obviously obstructed the effectiveness of the street sweeper, number one. Number two, as you know, in Rolling Hills East, we have one-side street parking, and there were still a lot of vehicles parked on one side of the street. So I've just asked for some cooperation, maybe with the police department, to post a no parking sign for street sweeping operations when you're going to deploy that street sweeper. That would help a little bit. And then also regarding the application of the pesticides, I guess, there are alternatives to eradicating weeds. I fire mine, i.e. with a flamethrower. I don't know if that technology is available. I know Elon Musk is selling flamethrowers, but they're actually more efficient, safer than pesticides. So I don't know if that is something that we can look at.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else for comment? I'm sorry, is that you, Mr. Danos? You're up next?
3 minutes, Andre.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor and Committee. Just to stop by tonight, because I understand that a member of the body will be resigning tonight. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I saw it on good authority. Nevertheless, I come by tonight as a former elected official and a resident of this township, who clearly understands that it would be 3 times in my life that I would take a sacred oath. One would be for the United States Air Force. Second time would be for this very body right here. And the third time would be for a very personal reason, fraternally. I realize that from a military standpoint, only some 0.4% of Americans will ever serve our nation in defense of Earth. And I realize that only less than 2% of Americans will ever raise their right hand, put their left hand on the Bible, and serve their country in some way in an elected capacity, from president all the way down to the local elective office. And it's with that I just simply wanted to stop by. Perhaps our greatest division comes during time of high politics. Perhaps it was meant to be that way so that people could delineate which way they choose to go. However, after we make politics, we're supposed to make policy. And it's within that narrative that I am before you today, just to wish Abe Lopez and his family, your children, farewell in your new endeavors. I'd like to thank you for putting your left hand on the Bible, right hand in the air, and actually taking an oath of office. I saw something, and I think it resonates. One of my heroes would be Major General Chappie James. He'd be the first African-American 4-star general, and many of you in this body know that I would serve in the United States Air Force. and I'll paraphrase. He said, "The power of excellence," and I would also add, "the power of excellence as well as public service is overwhelming. It is always in demand, and no one cares about its color nor its politics." And I add, we shall continue to serve. The journey continues. And I salute each and every last one of you. I salute our township employees for your continued service. We are one West Hampton. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Do we have any more comments from the public? I'm sorry, Mr. Lopez, you had already spoke. Anyone else? There being no more comments, it is closed to the public for comment. At this time, comments from the Township Committee members. And
I would like to go.
It is with great sadness and regret that Abe is resigning from Township Committee, both on a personal level and for the community. Abe brought West Hampton into the 21st century. We now have a Facebook page, an improved website, and now when people come to speak at our township meetings, now everybody can hear what everybody is saying. So I thank you for that, Abe. Abe has worked very hard as a liaison to the police department, the fire department, and with the courts. He also was out there shoveling snow during the snowstorms along with Andre. He helped balance the budget for 2 years. Thus, we had no tax increase. Despite all of that, Abe was the target of complete nastiness and utter immaturity by the author of West Hampton is a Great Place to Live. The author is a coward and not only targeted Abe, but his family as well. So my advice to anyone in West Hampton to unfriend this despicable Facebook page, as I believe the ghost behind it might not even live in West Hampton. I could go on and on about all the things that Abe has done for West Hampton, the way he has embraced our town. He gave his all. Our loss is Florida's gain. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, Mo. I appreciate it, Mo.
I just, on a different note, I'll say best of luck to Abe, and I wish you and your family all the best in Florida. I do want to thank and take the opportunity to thank the police and emergency services and the fire department for the National Night Out. It was an amazing day. It is very, I know all of us that were there, we're very proud to show off our township. So the weather was a little sketchy there for a bit, but a great job by all. Thank you. Now he's ready.
No, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out, police department, just the support of, the community that comes out and adds so much value to all these meetings and everything that is what it's upheld here. For Abe, I'd like to wish him and his family the absolute best. Now, maybe during election time, but it's different. But I will say that, when we've had meetings and different things of that nature, Abe has added value and shown me some things that maybe I didn't know. And for that, I'm appreciative, and I wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank the police department, Public Works, and, for National Night Out. I thought it was a huge success. I heard nothing but good things about it. As far as Mr. Lopez goes, I know that I'm sad to see your tenure end tonight so suddenly. I think when you shake the tree of politics, sometimes there's good and bad that comes out of it. But ultimately, I think that everything ends up the way that it's supposed to be. Thanks for making me a better person. I appreciate, the back and forth, and I wish you and your family the best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I guess I can save you.
Yeah, we're saving you for later.
Thank you all. Thank you to all my colleagues. Thank you for everybody who came out tonight to speak on their issues. Of former Mayor Daniels, thank you very much for coming. You really didn't have to do that, but you did, and it means a lot. My respect to you. Thank you to all the former mayors and committee persons that came out here tonight as well. Whether in support or in celebration or whatever, I appreciate every single resident's right to come here and say whatever they have on their heart and in their mind. That's one of the main reasons why I ran for office. There was a time I came into this town hall and residents weren't welcome to opine. They weren't welcome to question. They weren't welcome to seek clarification. Questions would be jotted down on a piece of paper and they wouldn't get answered to afterwards. There was a negative vibe, a negative feeling, tension, employees feeling that they can't give honest opinions, board members feeling that they had to vote a certain way. These aren't my words. These are those that have expressed those concerns. And when we saw those problems, jumped into action right away. Maureen's department was probably one of the only one who was cared enough or was crazy enough to go on this ride and try to make a difference. And I believe we really did. We tried an experiment called bipartisanship for 2 years. There were ups, there were downs, but there were way more ups than there were downs, and we accomplished a lot for the people of West Hampton. And it wasn't a Republican platform. It wasn't a Democratic platform. It was a people platform on how can we help residents improve their quality of lives. And we did so putting people over politics and putting West Hampton first. Some of the accomplishments Maureen has already stated, but tonight we can hear that residents can speak freely and there's no shouting. Tonight we have, I believe, a few cameras, 1 or 2, that are recording this meeting, and it's usually published in under 24 hours. We have an administrator and professionals that are hired not based on who they know, who they help them get a position, but they're qualified to work. Any promotion that we've had, any chief, any lieutenant, anyone, has been based solely on merit and nothing else. And that's something that I take great joy and great pride. And to this current governing body, I honestly, despite the campaign rhetorics, despite the negative ads or mailers, Sandy, I have not a single negative thing to say about anyone on this dais. And it's been quite a few years for me to be able to say that. If there were, I would. But truth be told, you know that. Truth be told, there is now a deliberative process. Government, I really feel, is working for the people. Linda Hines, I'll mention you by name. Sandy Henley, I'll mention you by names. And even John Wisniewski, I'll mention you by name. Just as I did when I felt concerned or felt that you guys weren't worthy at a time of the offices that you hold. Just as I can shell out, I can also praise and commend when appropriate. And I will tell you all that this governing body, we discuss the issues. There's time that it's dedicated to listen to opposing views, and there hasn't been hostility, negativity, and I think all of us are heard. And at the end, a decision is made. And the decision has never been to, at least from the meetings that I've been to, based on what the R's think is right or what the D's think is right, but what's in the best interest for the Township of West Hampton. And I want to commend my colleagues to keep going. That's honestly what I fought for and what I'm seeing today. And I want to encourage you all to lead and lead boldly. John, you're the mayor. Linda, you're the deputy mayor. Sandy, you're a committeeman. And Maureen, your committee person or committee woman. You have an idea, bring it to the table, discuss it, and do what your heart is leading you to do for this township. That's why everybody elected you. And I want to just encourage you guys to keep doing that and lead and trust your heart and your minds and the years of experiences that you guys have, and do what you feel is in the best interest of the township. And I'm sure the people, if they feel it's what's best, they vote you in. If not, you'll know. But I want to let the residents know tonight that this has been a great year, working with each and every one of you. To the township employees, professionals, directors, volunteers, board members that sit on boards, that sit on committees, that don't get paid. Just want to say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for putting up with the politics. I think this year has been the least drama type of a year, and I hope that everyone's enjoyed that and that it would continue. But I want to thank you all for your dedicated service to our township, to my family. Just have nothing to say, but God bless you all. God bless you all. Although I'm gonna leave, I'm not leaving just yet, but although I'm gonna leave, I still own a home here. I still conduct business here, and I still love a lot of people here. So continue to make us all proud. God bless you all, and God bless West Hampton. Thank you all for the opportunity and the immense privilege of serving you all as a committeeman. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Abe. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah, nobody